All right, I was just talking to Jay was saying, did I talk at all about the Michigan game? And I said, no, I haven't talked about the Michigan game yet. I said I didn't get to talk to about it because I did a show earlier in the day, doing a show now. Let me tell you, 32 consecutive runs. Look at Blake Corum on my IG. I mean, that is a beat-up face. He had a season-high 26 rushes, 145 yards, 2 touchdowns. Penn State, what were they down? 14-9. No, was it 17-9? So still within striking distance. They go forward on fourth down on their side of the field. Don't get it. Next play, Blake Corum touchdown, 24-9. And it's ball game, and they get a touchdown at the end. It was 14-3 in the first half to let them get 2 fourth down conversions. Michigan let them get a touchdown to make it 14-9 in a game which they were dominating. And no offense, Penn State offense. It's like watching the Jets. It's like having Zach Wilson. That offense was atrocious. Now he's only 19 years old, and I have to he's 19, right? So. You have to say, he's a young kid and he's out there, but good God. And James Franklin, well, Michigan always calls him Clark Franklin, the guy from The Replacements. That's what she calls him. And James Franklin sucks. I mean, he can't beat a good team. He had Drew Aller. Drew Aller was terrible yesterday. Yeah, he's just not that good. It was ugly to watch. Yeah, I mean he's thrown for 20 what yeah, I mean I was looking at the stats from yesterday. Yesterday he was 10 of 22 for 70 yards and a touchdown. 10 of 22 for 70 yards. Yeah, that's Zach Wilson. That's Zach Wilson numbers on that front. And there are stats. James Franklin is 1-12 against top 5 teams. He's 3-17 against AP top 10 teams. I want to get this right because I wrote all this down. Let me see. Okay. He's 1-12 versus AP top 5 teams. 3-17 against AP top 10 teams, and he is a combined 4-16 losses against OSU and Michigan. And, every year they get 10 wins. Then they lose to Michigan. They lose to Ohio State. They win a bowl game. They beat Utah in the Rose Bowl last year, and everybody gets excited. But next year you got Washington, Oregon, and USC coming in. Now, USC, I don't know if I put right now in the same group as I would put Washington and Oregon. I mean, Oregon is playing fantastic football. I watched Washington yesterday. Do you see that kid from Washington pull Deshaun Jackson? He gets the ball, and before he gets it, what goes through your head? That the ball, you have to get to the end zone. You decide, I'm going to drop the ball before I cross the line. Like, what's going through your head? You're already celebrating? Like, it's out of control. We were watching the football game today. Every time a defensive team makes a play, they have to do that stupid celebration. And a lot of times, Michigan did it yesterday, and he didn't even get the interception. The ball dropped. But you know who looks good? Looks good. C.J. Stroud is playing some good football. He didn't get the pass right there to Schultz. And right now, ugly Baltimore, Kyle Hamilton tipped the ball and basically ran and then walked in the end zone at the end. I wish I had the speed of Superman. I would have cracked him in his back for doing something stupid. I mean, he basically stopped at the one and then decided to do a little walk in. I'm like, dude, get in the end zone, do whatever the fuck you want, but goddamn, get the touchdown already. It's just become everybody's trying to showboat. Everybody, social media, we got to showboat. And everybody's putting everything on social media all the time. It's like, oh, God. I think Hawkinson got basically flipped over on his back. Now he's getting up. I go, he'll feel that tomorrow. And Texans, right inside the upright. Barely inside the upright. They're up 10-7 going to the half. That was a kick. Jimbo Fisher, $76 million buyout. $76 million, 45-25. 5-7 last year, 6-4. They just beat Mississippi State yesterday, 51-10, and they're done with them. Hal, thank you from Football Scoop. $7 million basically a season through 2031, not to coach. He thinks Urban Meyer would be the splash hire. Urban Meyer's 59. He's not happy how things end with the Jaguars. It's about his legacy. He looks bored as shit when he's on Fox the Fox on Saturday Fox, the college football Fox show, whatever. He always looks like he's bored out of his skull, like he doesn't want to be there. I think that they should, Mike Elko, the coach of Duke yesterday, I'm talking to LG. LG's at the game with Ben. Benjamin was at the game. He sent me some funny pictures. And she said they should take some kids out of the student section to play defense. It was 1914 Carolina going to the fourth, 39 combined points in the fourth quarter, where UNC scored on a beautiful pass to, who was the pass to? It was to Bryson Nesbitt it was a beautiful throw, beautiful catch. Duke goes down to score, takes a 3-point lead, and then Drake May with 40 seconds left gets them into field goal range where their kicker, I don't want to butcher his name, Noah Burnett, kicked a 43-yard to center overtime. They get a touchdown in overtime. And Tim Hasselback is like, the offensive lineman is like 5 yards past the line of scrimmage where he's trying to duck out of the way so the refs don't see it. Of course, the refs don't see it because the refs are all old farts and everything. Doesn't see it. They get a 2-point conversion. Then Duke goes down and scores, and they don't get the 2-point conversion. They lose 47-45. Victory bell. They're 8-2 UNC. They got to play Clemson next week. Duke falls to what'd they fall to? 6 and I don't even. What's Duke's record? Duke is they're 8-2. Yeah, I'm trying to find what Duke's record is, but yeah, Duke football. I thought they were 6-3 coming to the game, but I could be wrong. I'm allowed to be wrong. I know nobody cares except me, but this stuff bothers me. Yeah, Duke fell to 6-4, and they had a wide receiver who had some amazing catches yesterday. Jay Moore had 3 touchdowns. What was his name? Yeah, Jordan Moore had 3 had 8 catches, 6 catches for 88 yards, 3 touchdowns. And Tez Walker, good God, imagine if they got a full season out of Tez Walker. Tez Walker had 7 for $162, no touchdowns. Nesbitt had 7 for 68. And Hampton, who they didn't use in the goddamn, when they lost to Georgia Tech, they stopped running the ball, had 169 on the ground and another 47 receiving. I mean, good God. And Drake May had 2 touchdowns rushing and passed for another 342, but had a terrible interception in the first half where I don't know who he's throwing to, and they ended up scoring a touchdown. They were up, what were they up, 10-0? And that's like 6 field goals. 6, what are they, the New York Jets? What are the New York Giants? I mean, come on. I mean, really ridiculous. I mean, J.J. McCarthy didn't have an official throw because the throw he had in the second half yesterday against Penn State was a pass interference penalty taken, and he ended up the day, he went 7 for 8 for 60 yards, and none in the second half. They ran the ball every goddamn play. And everybody's saying, well, maybe they don't trust J.J. McCarthy. I don't know if it's that they don't trust J.J. McCarthy, but good God, man. I was like, holy shit. No official pass attempts in the second half. Blew my mind, dude. I was like, holy shit. I mean, Jimbo Fisher, $76 million to make him go away. $76 million. Think about that. They're talking about Chris Kleiman from K-State, Lance Leipold from Kansas. Kansas had a bad loss, but they've lost 16 of the last 17 to Texas Tech. They lost on a last-second field goal. That was a bad loss. Dan Lanning, Oregon. He's going to the Big Ten with Oregon. Why would he want to go to coach Texas A&M in the SEC? I don't think. Dion? That's what Hal also said. Dion to, I don't know. I mean, and they lost again yesterday, 34-31. Colorado lost at home to Arizona, which got was that their 7th win? Is Arizona 7-3? Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. Pac-12 standings. Washington is 10-0 for the first time since the 1991 championship season. They're in first, 7-0 in the conference. Oregon's only loss was to Washington. They're 6-1, 9-1. Oregon State's 5-2 and 8-2. That's where Washington's going next weekend, after Oregon State 62-17 over Stanford. The running back